Dark inner thighs can develop when the skin produces extra pigmentation called melanin, but don't worry, I'm going to share with you 5 steps to lighten dark inner thighs and get rid of them. And if you follow these 5 steps, they should significantly make an improvement. All I ask is if you give this video a like and subscribe down below so you don't miss out on future videos. I talk extensively about evidence-based ways to improve your hair, skin, and health. So if that's something you're into, definitely consider subscribing. I would love to have you on board. And before we start with the 5 steps, I want to talk about 5 reasons why you may have developed dark inner thighs in the first place. And I'll keep it short because I think it's important that we start there. The first is because of chafing. Have you ever worn tight shoes and experienced blisters on your feet? Chafing is similar and occurs when your thighs constantly rub against each other, causing friction, which eventually leads to darkened skin on the inner thighs. This is especially true if you experience excessive sweating from exercise or just daily activities, wearing tight clothes or underwear, or even fabrics that don't absorb moisture and end up trapping moisture between the skin folds. Yeah, not a nice feeling. But that's the first one. Secondly, it's because of hormonal imbalances. If you experience hormonal fluctuations, this may cause hyperpigmentation, especially in the skin folds like the inner thighs, especially near the private area. And you can see the darkening more prominent and can affect a person's confidence, especially in the bikini area if you're one to wear shorts and skirts. The darkening can also be more frequent during menstruation and pregnancy, or let's say if you have PCOS, which can cause dark patches on the skin. The inner thighs being one location to watch closely for. Thirdly, it's because of a condition known as acanthosis nigricans. Now this typically looks like thick, dark, warty looking patches or streaks around the joints and body parts with numerous creases and folds. The back of the neck being a common area. And we talk about it in this video here, which are the skin signs of insulin resistance that I highly encourage you to watch next. But it can also occur on the inner thighs too. And it's more common in those who are obese and those with insulin resistance, but it can also occur in otherwise healthy individuals too who have no other symptoms. So if you recently gained a lot of weight and notice your inner thighs getting darker, it may be something to address with your healthcare provider. And lastly, overexposure to the sun or exposure to harsh sunlight without proper UV protection. Once you identify the cause of your dark inner thighs, you can better understand how to address them, and hopefully these next 5 steps that I'm going to be sharing with you guys can make a big difference. In fact, I know it will. So starting with the first thing you need to do, which is exfoliating. Choose your exfoliant. One of the most common reasons dark inner thighs form is the buildup of skin cells just piling up on top of each other, which makes the skin appear darker and rougher. Now you could choose either a physical exfoliant, which is going to be your sugar scrubs, loofahs, or exfoliating gloves, which I've linked for you down below. Go ahead and click the link below to check them out. These will help to slough off the excess skin cells and start stimulating circulation. Or you could go with a chemical exfoliant such as AHAs and BHAs that will dissolve the bonds between the excess skin cells. Glycolic acid and salicylic acid are 2 examples for dark inner thighs. Personally, I would go with the QRxLabs Glycolic acid 20% resurfacing pads. They're made with ultra pure 20% glycolic acid with allantoin and vitamin B5, C, and E to give you more lightening and brightening effects. You're going to exfoliate the area 2 to 3 times a week with the pads, but be gentle with it to avoid irritation. And after exfoliating, wait about 5 minutes, then make sure to moisturize the area to lock in moisture so you can avoid over drying the inner thighs. And that brings us to step 2, maintaining regular moisturization and hydration. So you're going to have to choose your moisturizer now. You've chosen your exfoliant, be it physical or chemical. Now it's time to choose how you're going to moisturize the inner thighs. This is because dry skin can make discoloration worse and make the skin look more dull. Do yourself a favor and use a moisturizer that contains skin brightening ingredients like vitamin C, niacinamide, or licorice extract. These ingredients not only hydrate, but also help to lighten hyperpigmentation over time. For this one, I would go with the WMK Skin Bleaching Cream designed for the intimate areas and can also be used in the underarm, knees, and elbows too. And within a few weeks, actually, you will start to see visible reductions in discoloration, and this is because it contains olea fruits oil, niacinamide, centella asiatica, which is one of my favorite skincare ingredients, and shea butter. And the best time to use it is right after bathing and showering, and I would be using it daily. And don't worry, it has a smooth texture and absorbs relatively well into the skin, and it doesn't leave a greasy residue either, which is a plus for daily use. Now let's move on to step 3, which is start incorporating some natural remedies as well. We are exfoliating 2 to 3 times a week, using a moisturizer with brightening ingredients designed for the inner thigh area after daily showers. And now we want to add in some natural brightening ingredients. So now it's time to choose your natural remedy. I see a lot of options for this. There's aloe vera, there's lemon juice with honey, and there's even a potato juice rub that some swear by. Now these all can be great options, but there's one that I think is superior, and that is turmeric and jojoba oil concoction. You can make this as a home recipe at home and use this every day at night or even before your moisturizer. So you can mix a small amount of turmeric powder with jojoba oil, apply to your inner thighs and leave it on for 20 minutes before you rinse off. Or if you're like me and don't have a lot of time, you can try out the Glow Melanin Turmeric Scrub for dark spots, which I've also linked for you down below. It contains turmeric extract with vitamin E already formulated for you, so you're bound to get the lightening benefits out of it if you want to save time. Now let's move on to step 4. And to recap our steps, what do we have so far? We're exfoliating the inner thighs 2 to 3 times a week, using a moisturizer every day like the one we mentioned, using a turmeric scrub daily, and now we need something to block tyrosinase. You could go with azelaic acid, arbutin, hydroquinone, etc. But one of the best ingredients on the market for this is Kojic acid. It works by binding to the active site of the tyrosinase enzyme, blocking its ability to catalyze the conversion of tyrosinase to dopaquinone. Doing so, it'll reduce the overall production of melanin, and with decreased melanin production, areas of hyperpigmentation such as dark spots, acne scars, and melasma gradually lighten over time. And you should notice results in a few weeks as it starts to even out your skin tone as well. Valitic makes a good soap for this that includes kojic acid. Go ahead and apply it evenly, massage the soap to the area for 30 seconds in the evening and wash it out before going to bed. And guys, if your inner thighs are exposed to the sun, you want to use a body sunscreen to not aggravate tyrosinase so it doesn't produce more pigmentation. So definitely remember to use sunscreen on the thighs if they will be exposed to the sun. And lastly, let's move on to step 5, which is going to be lifestyle changes. The very first thing you're going to start doing is wear loose fitting clothes. Choose clothes made of breathable fabrics like cotton to reduce friction and prevent further darkening. Secondly, if you know you might be walking or standing for long periods of time and you are prone to chafing, use anti-chafing creams to avoid friction. The friction, guys, can make it hard to get the results you're looking for because it's almost like undoing the effects if you're constantly bringing friction and heat to the area. The Megababe Thigh Rescue Anti-Chafe Stick is made with clean natural ingredients like pomegranate and ginger root. It's unscented too and goes on clear and can help significantly to avoid chafing. And thirdly, work back down to a healthy weight. This not only will help with insulin resistance causes of the discoloration, but will minimize skin folds and reduce chafing as a whole. But I'm more curious to hear from you guys now. Are you dealing with dark inner thighs currently? What has worked for you? Let me know in the comments below. Also, leave me your questions down below. And if you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell to stay up to date with new content. And until then, guys, I'll see you on the next one.